Hi, Scorpio. It's Angela from Grounded Dreamers. We're here to do a quick soul guidance reading for your sort of mid-May time frame there, mid to end May. And like I always say, whenever you are guided to view and absorb this information and this guidance, that's the proper time. I'm posting it in mid-May, you know, I'm recording it around then, but the energy and the guidance is really timeless. Okay. So I pulled oracle cards from a deck that's based on butterflies that I received from my mother for Mother's Day. And it's been really fun to play with it. You know, talking about transforming certain sides of ourselves, certain aspects of ourselves. And this deck comes in handy when it comes to, you know, seeing that transformation through. So let's see what we got. And then of course, I'm going to clarify with the Zen cards. So we pulled those. I'm going to get these ready. The card I pulled for you, Scorpio, is sentimental feelings. This could come about from, you know, having a memory of something that really sparks up a lot of emotions and feelings that you may have forgotten about or that lie dormant. It could come in, you know, grieving the loss of someone, and you start to bring up those memories. You could find like an object, an old thing from your past that you pick up and go, wow, I remember this. And then that sparks an old song, anything that can spark those feelings of the memories of what was, right? Sometimes those feelings can overwhelm us and it's a little too much and we're not ready to address them, so that, you know, we tuck them away. And then when they come up again like this, we may have what it takes to process them at that time. So let's see what the Zen cards say. Let's get some clarity around that, around the concept of sentimental, old tender feelings, right? Tender feelings of things that have gone in our past. We have here your starting point, and the left side here is internal energies that support that vibration or transforming it. And the right side is external. Then we have the pivot point here. This is the key to moving forward. And then this is having moved forward, right? Moving to another level, occupying a space of higher consciousness here, okay? So sentimental feelings, and where do we start? Well, slowing down. I love this. There are times when a memory sparks or, you know, something triggers a feeling inside me, and I want to either sort of wash it away real quickly or, oh yeah, forget about it, instead of sitting with it really and taking the time to feel it out again and let that feeling, you know, most of the time that I want to push a feeling away, it's because it doesn't feel good. But they're my feelings, right? Every feeling that we experience is valid because it's part of our human experience. It's part of the way we learn and grow, is to feel our way through. So I like this. When a sentimental feeling comes up, maybe it's a little bit uncomfortable, maybe it's super, super pleasurable. And we want to say, oh, but that's not how I feel now. That's in the past, so that's gone, right? Well, slow that down a minute. Feel it out thoroughly. Let it embody, you know, your experience now, and let yourself, you know, toy with that. This is kind of part of how we process feelings, is to simply feel them, right? So take your time with it. If things come up for you that, you know, you're feeling a little bit sentimental there, take your time, allow it to be there. Internally, this energy is supported by or clarified by this sense of the outsider, right? Just what I just said, that used to feel so good when I lived during that phase of my life. It felt so good. I can't get there again. I'm not, that's not where I am now. I've learned and lived and know too much now. I'll never get that back, right? Well, if you teach yourself to sit with it and really feel it out, you can always regain that feeling and that experience. If it's a feeling that doesn't feel so good and you want to move beyond it, I can't get past it. I can't get past it. Yes, you can. You can, if you just pause, be kind to yourself. Remember, this little boy wants to get to the other side of that gate, and the lock there is, the chain is holding the gate steady, holding it closed, but the lock isn't engaged. The lock is actually open. So it's just a matter of opening it up and taking that step through, moving toward that which it is, you desire, right? Just go ahead and do it, but in a nice, evenly paced, present moment fashion. Okay. In your external world, the combination of these two awarenesses, oh, look at that. It brings about more need for patience. It's saying, let it play out the way it's supposed to, right? When we see that moon, moving through the sky in all its phases, we don't say during the new moon phase, we don't say, well, become full, hurry up. It's time to be full, right? We just know that it will in time. And this is kind of your own template for allowing those sentimental feelings to move through you and past you. Sometimes they come up out of nowhere, right? Oh yeah, I remember that person from my first job when I went, or whatever, like the memory just comes out of nowhere and it's unexpected. So, play with it a little, let it be in your presence, let it be in your experience, and let it work its way through in its own time. If it's unpleasant, allow it to be as it is. It can't hurt you now, right? It's a memory. So part of, if we want to process and clear it, we must sit with it, right? So that's that guidance there. So either way, good or bad, these sentiments, allow them to be there. Okay, moving forward, the key to moving forward is playfulness. Wow. So yeah, as we're looking over these sentiments and these feelings that sometimes are pretty deep and sometimes difficult to navigate, don't forget to look for the bright spots. Don't forget to, also be in your present moment and have some fun. Find the joy that's around you. We all have sources of joy all around us all the time. And depending on what we're focused on, depending on what we are, embroiling ourselves in and allowing to be in our experience, we may or may not see those sources of joy. Okay, but they are always there. Trust me. In the smallest moment, even in the most despair, you can, look out the window and watch a flock of birds go by, or see how the flowers bend in the wind, right? There's joy everywhere. Right? It may not be powerful enough to transform deeper feelings in that moment, but at the very least, it could take your mind off of it for a minute to allow them to process on their own, right? So always look for the joy. It's a tough one sometimes if we're in a dark space, but trust me, it's always there. Okay. So that's the key. If you want to transform some of these feelings, balance it out with the joyful moments. Find that joy. The butterfly itself depicts joy to me. It's just like the lightness of being, right? Moving about and fluttering away and just able to, move through and move from moment to moment with ease. Okay, so then we come to our outcome, or our new level of awareness here, which is, I am creating all of my experiences, even those past memories that bring me down a little bit. I'm creating how I am contending with them now. I'm creating the way I can feel about them now is up to me, right? So if I'm allowing myself to feel the sadness and feel some loss, it helps me to clear my energy now and move back into joy, right? So knowing that you're sort of curating your own life path in every moment, and it starts with your thoughts and your feelings, right? The way you approach things and perceive them. And then what we have is the total outcome here is full alignment, is the harmony, is, between head and heart, we're in alignment. right? I read in another deck today a saying that said, the head must bow to the heart and the heart buoys the head, right? They work together. So the way we perceive and think about and process things, even if it's, you know, some old situations and feelings, matters, because, you know, the way we feel about it matters and the way we think about it matters, both. So if we let those work in concert, then we have more of a fullness of being in this very moment. But I like this for the outcome because it's triggered by the recognition of joy, the willingness to be, to turn our gaze towards something that's joyful, or that brings us enjoyment, that brings us that playful feeling. That's the key, right? And that's what brings us that harmony. But yeah, it moved from the starting point of slow down, have patience, right? Reassess, feel it out, and then find that source of joy. You know, the sentimental feeling themselves could be the joy. This could make you feel joyful, whatever this is. So it's going to be different for all of you. But really the way that you choose to engage with it and dance with it and let it play out within your own experience, that makes all the difference. Makes all the difference for you. And remembering that you're curating that, right? You're in charge of it all this time. I like this for you, Scorpio, because of the depth of your emotional self. Super deep people you are. And it's good. There's times when maybe things are a little too deep and it feels, oh, I don't really want to deal with that, but that's okay. That's really more of the time that we let that breathe out, right? This is uncomfortable, but I can be with it because it really is just a memory. And so in this moment, it won't harm me. I can bring up some of those feelings without harming myself, as long as I'm kind to myself and patient with the process. Okay. All right, Scorp, that'll do it for now. It's good to see you, and I'll be back soon.